Hi guys, my name's Sterling and I'm going to demonstrate in this video why government is criminal. First, two examples from our daily lives. Imagine that you're walking down the street, somebody bumps into you and they rifle your pockets. They steal your wallet and your money. We would see that as a criminal act of theft and we would want to see the perpetrator brought to justice. Another scenario, imagine that you're a teller at a bank and a masked man walks in and demands for you to empty your register for him at gunpoint. We would see that as a criminal act of robbery, and we would want to see that individual also brought to justice. It's only when we move into the fairy, leprechaun, and unicorn universe of government that morality gets turned on its head, and suddenly up becomes down, left becomes right, and morality is basically non-existent. Take, for instance, government. They can now rifle your pockets and steal your money with virtual impunity. And it's the same case with the pickpocket. He steals your money, and you see that as an evil act. Government does it, cloaked and shrouded in the euphemistic language of taxation, and it's considered justified, and you've bought into it. You've bought into the propaganda. But it's the same thing, and this is a demonstration to me of why government is a criminal organization. Now, another example that hits closer to home: in Tennessee, in around 2012, a man was pulled over by the state police, and he had $22,000 in cash on him, and the police took that cash from the individual and said that he was being suspicious, but he wasn't doing anything what you would call criminally wrong, which is really irrelevant, because when you take $22,000 from somebody, that's theft, right? This is the website that I got the news from, News Channel 5. It's referred to as policing for profit, and is legal at least in the state of Tennessee. But again, if the robber walks into the bank and steals the money from the register, we would consider that an evil act, and we would want to punish the perpetrator. But if this act was made legal and it was decent under the color of law, would we suddenly accept that as valid? No. So why do we accept when a cop takes $22,000 from an individual as valid? So yeah, the individual he got his money returned to him, but he had to sign an affidavit saying that he wouldn't sue the state. It's absolutely ridiculous. And this is why government is a criminal agency. And I'm not the only one who sees it that way. I'm not the only one who's taken the red pill, so to speak. Here's a few quotes from some of my favorite authors. Lysander Spooner: "The so-called sovereigns in these different governments are simply the heads or chiefs of different bands of robbers or murderers." Ayn Rand: "Potentially, a government is the most dangerous threat to a man's rights. It holds a legal monopoly on the use of physical force against legally disarmed victims." Ayn Rand. And Murray Rothbard: "The state is a gang of thieves writ large." So all of these authors, they recognize that the state is a criminal band. They've just tricked you into believing that what they do is valid or socially justified. And here's part of the problem as I see it. There's what I call illusory domains, right? There's the illusion that there's these two existing or competing realities, one in which people wear costumes and badges and fancy suits and ties, and they're allowed to do whatever they want to you without any type of repercussions, and where you have no recourse really than appealing to these masters about the crime supposedly done against you, right? And in the other realm, we see morality for what it is. We see robbery as a robbery, and we see theft as theft. So this is why we have to recognize that the government is an agency of criminal activity. And by doing this, it would dispel the notion that there's these two illusory domains, and that all that exists are humans on a unilateral level making decisions and acting in accordance to their own will and conscience. That's really all I have to say today. Thank you.